And we back on my channel. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James, where I'm here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. Not gonna happen this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, like the video. But joining me as always, my special co-host, Mrs. Best. Y'all say what's up to her.
Hello, mates. Don't just like the video and subscribe, share it if you can so that more people can see James's channel.
Yeah, help my algorithm. Help it, help me out here. I know y'all like my content. Hi, Jim Bunny. Nice to see you, love. And make sure you guys subscribe to Mrs. Best channel. So any videos or recaps that I don't do on my channel, we do on Mrs. Best channel, such as Love and Hip Hop Atlanta that y'all just missed. If y'all were not watching live, go back and watch the replay because we were in it to win it. We was going in on everybody. And we have Real Housewives of Beverly Hills whenever they come back. But stay tuned because I do have an updates video on a former cast member that I wanted to say because I feel a certain kind of way about this. And also, Mrs. Best has great content on her own. She does music reviews. She does Love After Lockup. You guys are missing out on great content on her channel. So do me a favor and subscribe to her as well.
Well, thank you for the free promo.
Anytime. You're my best friend. That's what we do. So let's get into this because if y'all read the title, this is Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, season 1, episode 3, basketball, bobbleheads, and the brow girl. And I'm gonna say this: Salt Lake City is bringing it. They are bringing it, and I'm going to say like this: Bronwyn is the MVP for me. She is now my favorite on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Because when I tell y'all, Bronwyn got Heather and Lisa together and made them both look stupid.
Alone at the same time and in that order.
Absolutely. I was here for because it's about time somebody did it. It's about time because I really thought Heather was going to skate away this season. And I thought I was going to ignore it. But like Jim Bunny said, I live for Bronwyn. Live for her, y'all. So
I
let's
do
go
want to say though, before you start, once again, you have a newbie outdoing the original cast members. Why are they still here and employed? I need to know.
Especially Whitney, Meredith, Lisa, Heather, them four need to go at this point because it's
Meredith
stupid.
first.
Meredith didn't piss me off this episode. I actually liked Meredith this episode. But the scene opens up, the ladies are all packing for Milwaukee. We have a scene with Whitney and Justin, and, she's packing her bag and getting turned on at the same time. I saw that, Whitney. I saw that. But, that was that little scene. Mary cracked me up because Mary had called Whitney and said, Whitney, look, I'm going to Milwaukee, but I'm not going on the private plane with all 19 of y'all on that plane. I will be taking my own plane, and I will see you when you get down there. And all Whitney could do was just laugh because it was funny. But I was too busy looking at Mary had shit everywhere in that bedroom. She had bottles of water. She had snacks, clothes, towels. I was like, Mary, damn, Mary don't care. Mary does not care. Like when I tell you, I was looking at her room, I was like, well, damn, where's your maid? Why she ain't cleaning up? Damn, you got shit everywhere. But the scene then moves on to Angie and Sean. And she's packing and she's going to be because there's going to be a center around the Milwaukee Bucks game, and there's a person I guess who's Greek on there. He looked black to me, but I guess he a black Greek that she's going to be representing and showing all this Greek. And like she got a flag and everything, and I'm just looking at Angie like, you just be so extra just for no reason. And it's like, why? Why do we need to see this? But then, in true Angie fashion, she then drops a little bomb on us. And the little bomb is that her brow girl had Brittany's man, the Osmond guy, Jared Osmond, in her DMs. And Angie said, well, why don't you send me those DMs? And pretty much the DMs were him commenting on the shirt she had her cleavage out. And he pretty much said that you look like you like wild, like that fun. And she goes, yeah, I'm too much to handle. And he looked like he was ready for a spin. And Angie was like, "Oh, this is not good." And she's telling Sean, "I don't know this girl this well, so I don't know if I really should bring this to her." And he was like, "Well, see how it goes." And, because, I feel like she should have told her way before this trip, because if you had this information, this was 2 weeks ago. I don't understand why you just didn't tell her before, so that way she wouldn't look so embarrassed. But once again, this is Brittany. I don't care. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about the scene with Angie and her having this information?
Um, it's nice that Angie reps her culture. She's starting to warm up to me because she seems to just be who she is. Even if I don't like a person, I like when they don't change up depending on who they're around. And Angie seems to always be and say the same things no matter who she's around. So I will give her that. But like you said, that makes me question you how you do your job as a housewife. You're on TV for a reason. If you have this information, we should have been seeing you say something about it. And if you did it, then that's on production messing up the church's pieces of change again. But yeah, I don't know. I will be telling somebody outside of my husband, men don't care. I will be fighting my best good friend that I could trust. Like, let me tell you the tea.
Which
Because
9 out of 10 would be me, because we was on that show. We would have pulled her to the side and been like, "So what's going?" I would have pulled her to the side anyway, because I don't like how Brittany is looking on camera. I don't like Brittany, but at the same time, I don't want her to go out like this. This is crazy. So the ladies are arriving to the airport. It's 4 a.m. Um, Whitney, Lisa, and Heather get there first, and the next to show up is Bronwyn. And Lisa goes out to the car and say, "Hey, Bronwyn, you okay? You need some help?" And Bronwyn is giving her the cold shoulder. And what Bronwyn is saying is that she feels like Lisa pretty much threw her under the bus when it comes to, everyone and how they see her. And she felt like, as her friend, she should really be sticking up for her, especially with this whole situation. Yeah, Brittany is a pick me. And she just kind of, just said, "I don't know how to deal with Lisa's friends when I'm one of them, and me and Lisa aren't in a great place." So she goes in and she hugs everybody. And Heather comes up to her and gives her a hug, and she kind of snubs Heather a little bit, but she kind of gave her, like, she put her head on her chin on her shoulder, just to kind of embrace the hug. But you could tell she didn't want to hug Heather. And I wouldn't have hugged Heather. I'd have been like, "Back up. It's 4 a.m. and me, you ain't cool. So let's not do this right now." I'd have ruined the whole energy of the trip, because you're not going to come for me and try to expose me. And then when I get you back, and now you want to have this, kumbaya moment and act like you like me when I know you probably don't see it for me. So that's how I feel. How did you feel about Brahma and showing up to the airport and her feeling some way about Lisa?
she should have spoke up instead of giving her a cold shoulder. Because if you friends with Lisa, you know that Lisa don't give a damn about nobody outside of herself except her kids and sometimes her husband. So I think that should have been the moment where she said something. I agree with you. I would have messed up the energy of the plane if I had to do it. Because the only reason you there, Bronwyn, like you did say, is through Lisa. So I'm not trying to sit with Lisa's friends while I'm not feeling Lisa. Either don't show up, fly separately, or speak up. But doing the, I'm just gonna see if she picks up on my body language when she didn't give a damn in the first place and is pretty self-centered. She makes for great TV, but let's keep it a buck. She's a terrible person, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I
Yeah,
100% agree with
she's
that.
great TV. I love her as a housewife, but Lisa truly is self-centered, and
She's
you see,
self-centered, and then she's nonsensical at the same time, which is a very dangerous combination as a person, a human being, just in general, to be nonsensical and also be like egotistical and everything, because that really means that you walk around this earth not really caring how, you could show up as harmful to others. And this whole, basically, in little small words, this whole Karen energy. So Meredith shows up last, and Whitney was shocked because, Meredith sent her text message saying, "Hey, I moved some things around, so I'm able to come to you to Milwaukee." And we all knew Meredith was coming in the first place. I didn't buy that shit for a minute. We knew Meredith was coming. So The ladies then go to Milwaukee. Once they get there, Heather's confession I'm not going to talk about because that was ridiculous. I mean, I know I don't see it for Heather. Mary shows up to the hotel first, and I was cracking up at this scene because Mary's crazy behind said that her father's from Milwaukee. He actually used to live around the corner from Jeffrey Dahmer. And every day that he would go to work, he would smell that horrible smell that everybody was talking about. And when the actual live time happened where Jeffrey Dahmer got arrested, her father was actually in the crowd watching it all happen. Mary said, I think he was just trying to be nosy. But yeah, he was around for that. And I was hollering because I believed the story. Like, I couldn't help but believe it. Like, everyone was like, oh, social media talking about Mary's lying. I was like, I don't believe she's lying. I think that really did happen. Because what do we know Mary to lie? We don't.
Mary's
So,
not being caught in a lie. And also, Milwaukee is one of the most segregated cities in this country. They still struggle prevalently with that. And if you watch the Dahmer info on Netflix or any of that, or if you're like me and in the true crime, you know that he moved to a black neighborhood because the segregation helped him to move there. And it's a smaller pocket of the city than what the other people have. So it is very likely that her dad experienced it and smelled it, but people don't like Mary, so they're gonna try and find any reason to discredit her. But she ain't been caught in one lie yet. But the rest of these heifers have.
exactly. But it was funny. It was funny watching her trying to get all the bags in that hotel. It was just Mary is just reality TV, just gold. She just is. I know a lot of people don't like her, but she is just hilarious. It's like the thing she does. It's like you
The
can't
more
help but
people
follow it.
also that don't like her, that makes the network want to keep her.
Yep, exactly. Y'all ain't doing her no. Y'all ain't doing yourself no favors. Y'all gonna see Mary. Trust me, Mary ain't going nowhere. So the other ladies get there, and this was a very nice. I'm gonna say this is a very nice, sweet hotel. It really is. I love the ambiance. I love the design of it. It was very much right. I'm hoping they cover this season. They better. But they all go up into their room. They have food waiting for them. They all pick their rooms and everything goes down. And once they all sit down and eat, I think it was Brittany who asked Lisa, how's Jack's missions going? And she goes, well, Lisa, this is Lisa. She got to, make a scene. Oh, he had a pain in his stomach, and I was really scared for him. And everyone's like, "Well, why aren't you there? Like, why don't you go?" She goes, "No, I would have been there, but he told me, not to come because he can handle it on his own." And everybody is like, they don't know how to take Lisa because Lisa's not really the most emotional person. Mary comes up and gives her a hug and said that she'll be praying for her and everything. And I thought that was a nice gesture of Mary because, those two haven't always seen eye to eye. Is who still married? Oh,
Mary's
you talking about
not.
Mary? Girl, that shit wasn't real. Mary called it. We know. We ain't seen that. We ain't seen the girl yet, and she ain't mentioned it yet. And we just seen her son what twice on the show now. So no, yeah, yes. And Lisa is the phony. I don't believe that story either. I mean, hey, if it is true, blessings and well wishes for his health. But I just don't believe Lisa. I think maybe he had a stomach ache and she just blown it all out of proportion. But Whitney says, as she takes over the conversation, that we're going to a Bucks game. So everybody, get excited for that. But before we go, because that's later on today, Milwaukee happens to be home of the Bobblehead Museum. And since Mary called me a bobblehead, I figured I would like to take her, which was hilarious because then they showed the clip of Mary calling Whitney a bobblehead. And Mary said her confession, yeah, I call Whitney a bobblehead, but I don't feel like that about her anymore. And Whitney has gladly passed the baton. And then they insert Brittany's face, and I was hollering at this scene. I said, wait a minute, I was not ready. So Heather says, I'm not trying to go to the Bobblehead Museum. They have casinos here. I want to gamble. And Angie and Lisa immediately jumped up and was like, yeah, we can gamble. And Meredith says she'll go to the casino with them. So the group divides. So we have Bronwyn, Mary, Whitney, and Mealy, whatever her friend name is. Um, They're going to the Bobblehead Museum.
So call her the friend in the snow with no clothes, looking like a
Right.
damn fool. Who told you to go to the snow, not even in a crop top, but a bralette? The
Right.
hell? Her
Exactly.
name is irrelevant for that. I can't.
Yes. And then we have Heather, Meredith, Lisa, Angie, and Brittany going to the casino. So the ladies then all scatter and then, kind of, go into the rooms to get ready. Mary's son called her for $60. That shit was funny as hell. But I know Mary wanted to go the hell off, but she knew she had this camera in front of her, so she couldn't do
You can see it
it. Yes.
because
I
you know
saw
she
that.
got him on some type of like. She tried to do something with him because she clearly not spoiling him because he needed the $60.
Right. He said, "Mom, can you cash at me $60?" You can tell Mary said, boy, you know this camera here. You know they gonna hear this conversation. Why you calling me?" You can tell Mary wanted to go off, but she didn't. So, but she went off in a way very clever. One thing about Mary is so astute. Mary said, "You ain't gonna ask me if I'm okay. You ain't gonna ask me, how I'm doing. You just gonna ask me for some money." You could tell Mary wanted to go way off, and I was laughing so hard. The scene then goes to Angie. She goes to checks on Bronwyn because she had noticed that Bronwyn's energy was different once she got to the airport and everything. And Bronwyn was telling Angie that she feels like she is really like upset with Heather, but she's furious at Lisa, and she feels like they're trying to make her shade of Whitney more deeper than what it is, but at the same time, they need to be checking themselves about the shit they said about Mealy because they had a lot more to say about her than what she said to say about Whitney. And we were like, oh. And then what we learned about that scene was that Mealy, with Lisa, and Lisa was telling how one of her friends came over to the house. He's her fashion coordinator. He said that Mealy is about to be blacklisted from Nordstrom's because she keep returning shit, and they all laughed about that. So when I heard that, I was like, oh, so there was more said in that car than what we were led to believe. And this movement made me side with Brown when it was like, y'all are no different than me. And she feels a way about that because Lisa should be defending her. They've been friends for 10 years, and she feels like Lisa just threw her out to wolves and didn't defend her. So I kind of felt Bronwyn on that because it kind of made me feel like, well, if I'm your friend 10 plus years, you're bringing me around your other friends, we're on live TV. Why would you say, hey, this is just who she is? She's, quirky. She's, she could be shady, but don't take it personal. Don't, or at least kind of have some defense so they're not taking her at complete value as if nobody on this cast knows her. So I don't know, Mrs. Best, how did you feel about Brahma's explanation?
Brahma made sense. She made a lot of sense. This made me. She held everybody accountable, including herself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the part that I respect. But I'm kind of irritated with the network, like show everything. I get what they were trying to do with the editing, with the wow factor, like, oh, she was right, but I feel like we should have been able to see the conversation as a whole versus some of the nothing scenes that we got prior to that. So yeah.
Absolutely. So speaking of nothing scenes, we have Brittany trying to FaceTime Jared. And she's sitting at the desk and she's, doing the FaceTime, the camera panning right on it, and he's rejected the FaceTime. And she said, I said, see, you already finna piss me off. Like production, I don't know why y'all trying to make this girl just look so thirsty. Like y'all don't have to broadcast. This
is past thirst.
Yes.
This is like psychologically concerning.
It just is.
She does seem a little obsessive over this man. And to know that you're why are you not FaceTiming your daughter so often, homie? That's what I don't understand. I want to see you calling your kids and getting nothing but a voicemail, or like at least try.
Right. So, hey baby, mama thinking about you and I love you
want to be on camera calling this man that don't want you. I don't understand it. But you say that your daughters are not speaking to you. Fix it. I don't understand it.
I don't either.
That's why I
She's
was
getting
speaking
on
the
my
whole
nerves.
time.
Yeah, she was getting on my nerves this episode. I'm not seeing it for Brittany, y'all. I'm really not. So this is if she's gonna continue to do this, Bravo in that call center, y'all can just go ahead and remove the future scenes coming up because I'm gonna go in
And
every time.
Heather, that's how she got here. Heather, don't. Heather probably cried to producers and was like, I want to choose the next one because you guys dropped the ball on Monica. I guarantee you, Heather went bitching and crying and threatening producers and wanted to bring somebody on. Because I don't believe that Bravo would have put this woman on television just on their own without a connection.
Okay, so let's say your theory is right. Let's play devil's advocate. If Heather really did this, wouldn't this be grounds for Heather to get fired?
Please, that's
Because
what I'm leading to.
oh,
I'm
okay. I was gonna say, I was
so
like, wait a minute, that sounds crazy as hell.
she was
Because
introduced as a friend of Heather. So I'm going to place Heather responsible for the BS that is, what the hell is her name? I can never remember it.
who?
Brittany. Brittany.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I just, I don't think she should be on TV. She needs to be in somebody's outpatient, therapy group or something.
This is why Iyanla Van Zant should have not retired. I get it, Iyanla. You was tired, and I get, retirement. This is the lady that if you ever do a reboot of Fix My Life, you need to find this young lady and immediately because something is here that she's not going to let the camera see. Something is here, but she wants to let us see this foolishness. So moving on from here, because that's all I'm gonna take of her for right now. Moving on from this foolishness, we have a scene with Whitney and Heather. They over there taking a shot, calling themselves the buzzing cousins, and I'm just like, y'all are just so exhausting. So Heather brings up Meredith and how she's going to take Meredith to the casino with her. And she asks, how are they doing since, that big old debacle? And Whitney was like, well, I don't know. I was trying to extend an olive branch by calling her and say, hey, can you bring caviar, for us? And Meredith said, I was already bringing it. And was like, oh, well, damn, I tried. And it was like, so, Whitney, your extension of reaching out and extending an olive branch to someone else is asking them to bring something. Like, I don't understand that. Because the olive branch would be asking her to lunch and saying, hey, even though I think Meredith is tripping, don't get me wrong, y'all, Meredith is tripping behind this. But at the same time, if Whitney was going to extend herself, you have to extend yourself and try to hear her out. Even if you think it's bullshit, just hear her out and just give her the floor
That's
and,
right.
kind of say, hey, okay, what can we do to make this better? If you really value this friendship. Something tells me that Whitney doesn't value the friendship at all, but she doesn't want to come on the show and have less people to film with. So she's trying to just be strategic. It's smart. Don't get me wrong, it's smart. But at the same time, I would have been like,
Whitney cannot stand Meredith. She throws shade at her, regardless if they beefing or not. If you
mm,
just go watch from season 1 to now, Whitney throws shade at Meredith all the time, even when they're not talking about her. She
yeah,
cannot stand that woman, and that's okay. She being strategic.
she is. No, she absolutely is. So the ladies all get dressed and they go off. We have the groups break up. We see Mary and them at the Bobblehead convention. They're doing a scavenger hunt. It's real cute and everything. It was funny. They even did an homage to the Golden Girls, and they said who would be who. Mary said she would be Rose, which is spot on. Absolutely. I feel like she could either been Rose or Sophia because of the knowledge thing. She could have been Rose or Sophia. I would have taken either or. They said Bronwyn was going to be Dorothy, and I was like, no. They said that Miley Mealy was going to be Blanche, and I said no because that's Whitney. Whitney is Blanche, and I feel like I'm gonna say Miley is. Here's my Golden Girls thing. I'm gonna put Mary as Sophia. I'm going to put Brown. I'm gonna keep Bronwyn as Dorothy. Now that I'm thinking about it, she might make because Bronwyn is shady. So and so was Dorothy. So I'm gonna say Bronwyn is Dorothy. I'm going to put Whitney as Blanche, and I'm gonna put Mealy Miley as Rose, based on what's gonna come up later. So that's how I'm gonna do that. How would you do that, Mrs. Best?
I think I would swap Bronwyn. For me, Bronwyn aligns more with Blanche. I don't know
Okay,
why.
I can see that.
She just aligns more with Blanche, especially in confrontation. And whoever had Blanche, I'd put them on the child, my brain. I'm thinking of the theme song in my head now. It's fucking up my train of thought. And I'm thinking of that meme of that guy singing the Golden Girls
Oh, with the wig,
song.
yeah. Yes,
It's just messing up
yes,
my
that is an
train of
extra. Yes, I remember
thought. Now I want to watch Three's Company. I know that's random, but I
that.
love that show.
So you
Thank you for being a friend.
right. That is everybody's song. That's my jam. But did you want to pick or you want me to go ahead and move on?
You can move on.
Okay. I was like, I didn't know if she was gonna do it or not. But the next thing we have is the casino. We have the other ladies gambling and everything. And Brittany pulling out this phone once again to show, oh look at Jared said that he missed my phone call. And Lisa
Somebody
was like,
backhand her.
yeah,
I've had
Lisa was
it.
like, he needs to do more to show you that he loved you and everything. She goes, he did. He asked me to be his girlfriend. We can't make this shit up, y'all. I'm sorry. We can't make this shit up.
She about 47 and a half. And she is tripping on this man like he is a boy for the life of me. And it's so cringe because he could give a flying you know what about her. He
It's
do not
obvious
care.
this man
Oh,
is,
she loves Three's Company. I love that show. I watch it often.
yes. This is my thing with Britney in this whole situation. Man, if you don't pick up on the subtle clues, then I don't know what the hell to tell you. I don't know. This Jim Bunny, thank you. You act like you ain't lived life enough to know when a man wants to be with you and wants to claim you, he's going to do more than tell you he's your girlfriend or you my girlfriend. He gonna show up where you ain't got to question any of his actions. He's not gonna ignore a phone call and embarrass you on TV. He's not gonna put a post of me and my best friend at Costco. She's so damn stupid that I can't even fathom. So Lisa takes the phone and sends him a message and say, "Hey, I'm with my girls right now. We hanging out. I will call you tomorrow when I'm done."
That's right.
And I
That's
said, "Thank
right.
you, Lisa. You getting this one for me. Thank you, Lisa." So Meredith and Heather go off, and they're at the bar. And as they're at the bar, Heather's asking Meredith about Whitney and what's going on, and Meredith is pretty much standing on, I don't know what the olive branch was intended to be if I'm already bringing something. And Whitney just doesn't know how to be a friend. Like, there's lots of things that are said about her that are out there that I would help her with if we were better friends. And Heather was like, with what? And she goes, come on, Heather. Like, you know what's out there. And so Heather's like, what? She goes, Alibaba and her website, her having the same jewelry as Alibaba and selling it for $20, $30 more and production's messy behind, then sit up there and actually show it. And I said, Whitney, like I am praying whoever put that out there just photoshopped it and used your website. I pray that's not what you're doing.
It
Should
could
I?
also be like Sheen, She by Sheree, several other brands. Also, no, really, there's several other brands, not just Sheree's, that have been found to be using the exact same clothing manufacturer as Sheen. So it could be something. Are there jewelry manufacturers? I don't know. I'm trying to give the child some grace, but
I am too because that's a crazy
But I'm
situation.
not surprised based on the allegations that come out every other year about her partner.
I
That's all
mean,
I'm gonna
yeah.
say because I'm not gonna get your channel in trouble. But
Yeah, don't
there
get my
are
channel too much because I was
allegations.
gonna be like, look, like sketchiness always somehow follows Whitney with these business practices. Not to mention season one when her husband was involved in that pyramid scheme, allegedly.
Mhm.
'Cause I don't know what happened with that. They just kind of skated over that shit. We know he lost his job and then got a new one a year later because he signed a non-compete, which that was sketchy within itself because it was like, well, how do you sign something that you can't get another job? Like, that's I want to read that kind of contract. If somebody has that kind of contract, email it to me so I can read that because you telling me I have to give up my livelihood or potential be homeless for a year because of some agreement that we that's just kind of crazy. So I'm sorry,
Right.
there was something with that whole thing. So I can believe this, I can, but at the same time, it's like I don't want to because that's crazy to me. Like when you looked at that screenshot of how it was like $3
It
and
was
90
the same thing. It was the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Somebody's ripping somebody off, or somebody sharing. Then again, I'm looking at Jim Bunny's comment. I don't know what the hell going on, but Whitney came after them, so it looked like she a copycat. And
Well,
it's interesting because season after season, whenever it's Whitney's family is going through allegations or alleged to be into some stuff, like she don't never want to talk about it, but she do be in everybody else's business.
um, yes. To Jim Bunny's comment, yes, that is a non-compete agreement, is when you can't work at a company at the same time. That is what I thought it was as well. But when they were on season two or season three, whenever he got fired from the company and he couldn't work for that year, Whitney explained it as he couldn't work for a year for signing. I don't know if it was a non. I might have to go back and watch it. It was something where he couldn't work for a company that was similar for like a year, and then he had found a job season three or four or something like that. It was weird. It was a weird. I'd never heard of that. Like I'd never
Why
heard.
are these men, the men on Salt Lake City, like of all the men on Housewives, they change jobs so much?
Well,
What do they do for a living that
well,
requires them?
I used to date a guy that did the same thing Seth does, so I know, and that's Meredith's husband, I believe. Seth, yeah, I actually know a guy who does that. Basically, what they do when companies go either bankrupt or are about to go under or close or dissolve, there is a transitional team that moves everybody out, get them counseling, make sure they sign up for like unemployment benefits because you're about to get laid off. There is a such thing that you hire companies to do that. So I've actually heard of that before here. So
Well, hell, it looked like I got the wrong degree. I'm trying to make a difference and shit as a damn social worker. I should have got into tech.
yeah, I forgot what that position is called, but I knew somebody who did the same thing. So I can't only speak for that experience because I know that exists. All the rest of them, I don't know what. Well, Sean, we know he run the business with Angie, so his shit is legit. We know Mary Cosby husband shit is legit because they've done 100 investigations on them. Still ain't nothing came out about them yet. Um,
That's terrible.
so, huh?
That's terrible.
It is. So we like, yeah, running through the list. Whitney, that shit is questionable. Lisa shit was questionable at one point. And I
I
believe
still ain't seen Lisa's alcohol anywhere. Can't find it, not even at the local Total Wine.
from what I heard, it's popular in New York and Miami, and I haven't seen it in Miami. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never seen it in Miami. Someone told me that, but I don't know. Allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly. But moving on, where were we at? I don't forgot. We didn't went down the rabbit hole. Oh, the ladies were at the casino. So we're just gonna go ahead. If anything else happened, y'all charge it to my mind and not my heart, because I promise you, I'm trying to go based on memory here. He said, "Y'all ain't gonna talk about me like a dog." You know, Jim Bunny. I feel that way about him, but it's too late. I already know what I'm looking at, so it's too late. It's too late for him. We gonna talk about you, sir. Sorry. Until you and Angie cut out this goofy shit, we gonna talk about you until y'all cut this shit out. Okay. Okay. So moving on, the ladies show up to the basketball game. Um, I love y'all. If y'all don't know nothing about me, I love going to basketball games. That is one of my favorite things to do. I was always at a basketball game in Miami when I lived there. I was always at a basketball game because I just love the crowd atmosphere. Plus, Miami Heat's like the Heat's games, they actually put fire in the building. There's a fire hazard like crazy, but they actually do that, and it is so much fun. Um, so they go, they meet the president of the Milwaukee Bucks. They go on there. Angie sees the person that she's been fanning over because apparently he is Greek. He's the Greek something. I don't know what that shit is. But she looks stupid doing that shit, that big ass trait behind her and them glasses. I was like, Angie, sit down somewhere, please.
That's actually, you know what's funny? I actually feel entirely opposite. I feel like rep your culture, girl. I loved it. I loved it. She finally did something extra that wasn't like thirstly extra, if that makes sense. It seemed like she really just wanted to rep her culture. But I didn't even know that they had a Greek basketball player. Apparently I don't know
I
anything.
always thought that man was black. I did. I always thought that man was black. I mean, he had one. I thought the name may have been some kind of African tribe name. I didn't know that was a Greek name, but apparently it is. So okay, sorry. He's still fine as hell, but sorry. You know, sorry, sorry, sorry. But the ladies then, everyone's taking pictures and selfies, and they go up to the sweet lounge. And when I tell y'all all that food, y'all, I was
That's
like.
all I was looking at.
I was looking at them. I was looking at them sliders. I was looking at that lobster.
They had
That
some
is somebody
kebabs.
the corn dog. They had all kind of food, and I was like, "Oh my god!" That's it.
Oscar
This is how you do it. Housewives of Atlanta, take note. That is how you do it. You get food. You showcase it. Drinks. The ladies are having a good time. It is a sight to be seen and everything. So at this point, we're getting down to a few things that are happening here that annoyed the hell out of me. The first thing that annoyed the hell out of me was the fact that Brittany took this time to call this man again on FaceTime. And I said, girl, if you don't put that damn phone away and stop. But he actually answered. And I said, oh, well, James, shut your mouth or watch your mouth because he actually answered the phone.
Now you know that she texted him like, "Why aren't you answering the phone? I'm on camera." And he said, "Let me put on my good shirt and answer this phone call now." You know that's exactly what happened. She
Yes, I
couldn't
know
wait.
that's what happened. So So after, Angie was talking about, look, she's trying to call him. And then Angie peeks over and sees that he on the phone. She goes, oh, hey, Jared. Yeah, I done heard about you. And I was like, yes. And now this is where I get with Angie. Angie said, when Angie looked over and peeked over her, she said, oh, hey, Jared. I heard about you. I got you. Because Angie then feels the Bronwyn that her brown girl has been talking to him and she shows Bronwyn all of the screenshots. And the man said in actual text, me and Brittany are not together. And she goes, look, he said it right here. He left boo number 2 in the living room. Right? That's what I feel. I really do. I feel like he got somebody else and Brittany's just a
Because
placeholder.
he
I
was
really do.
standing up in the camera, looked like he
Yeah.
only had the shirt on.
Yes. So Brittany hears them and was like, are y'all talking about me? And you say, yeah, we're talking about you. We're talking about, I have this brow girl. And she says that her and Jared, she gave me screenshots of messages that they have been talking. And Brittany was like, well, when was this? And she goes, about 2 weeks ago. And you could tell that Brittany knows about this situation because she just kind of backed up and was like, oh, like she said, okay, well, I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. And then she begins crying and Meredith walks her out. And I was like, the fuck are we crying for?
You
At
didn't
a
even see a
basketball game.
receipt. You ain't seen a receipt. And you left the fucking lobster corn dog. She was tripping.
No, yeah, exactly. She was tripping because I ain't leaving my food. And first of all, I don't know none of you except for Heather. I'm not gonna let y'all sit up here and watch me sweat like this. I would have told Angie, look, I'm gonna deal with this when I get back to the house. Don't worry about it. But thank you for telling me. You a good girl for doing that. And I don't believe this. You know what's funny, Jim Bunny? I don't believe they were ever together. I don't. I don't believe they were ever together. I don't. I don't. I don't believe that at all. I believe she wants to be with him because remember, her ex and his ex are in a relationship. And I'm thinking she's doing this out of spite and putting more to it. And I feel like he's
Perfect
not really
example of her being delusional. She thinks they're in a relationship at the time of the FaceTime that we're discussing. But everyone's like, wait, he did not ask you to be his girlfriend.
right.
Something wrong with her.
Something is wrong with her. So her and Meredith in the bathroom. Meredith was like, "Look, you need to start dating. You need to stop putting your eggs on one basket because clearly he has one perception of the relationship and you have another, and y'all are not on the same page. So you need to do you. You need to, just go out there and just take some time for you." And she is delusional. She's very delusional because she said, "Yeah, Meredith, you're right." And we know damn well that's not what she finished. She's going to go call that man as soon as they leave this game. I guarantee you. So it's like this situation is axed out. Now we're done with Brittany. Brittany went and got her a plate of food and she finna, go down there and have a good time. So the next thing that happened, hold on, I have a little snippet I want to put in. Angie had to go to the bathroom. She said, "Mary, you got to come with me to the bathroom." Mary said, "I don't use public bathroom." She said, "You ain't got to go to the bathroom?" Mary said, "No." She said, "I put me a tampon in there. And, that holds it for her, so I ain't got to go." And I was hollering. And then Mary at her confessional said, "Yeah, this is what I do. I go get me a tampon and I insert it up there. And you got to get the supersized one. You can't do it with the medium or small one." And I was like, "Mary."
Let me explain something to y'all. As someone who has worn tampons, I that's not what they for.
I was, girl, when I tell you, I'm a guy and I know that ain't what that's for, but I was laughing so hard because she was trying to keep a straight face, but she know that shit sounds stupid as hell. And that's why when Bravo put do not do this not medically proven, I was hollering at that. I
Thank
was
you,
like,
Jen. She said the supersize. Mary, that hurt. It's not comfortable. Right. Not, it's not Mary. Mary don't even be meaning to like that's what makes it so good.
I feel like this too, but Mary didn't want to say that. That's why she said a tampon, the supersized one. I was like, "Mary, come on now."
I
Like,
would have rather she said she wears a Depend than
right.
like
Hmm.
this was the strangest.
You can't help but love her. You just can't help but love Mary because that was so
At
random.
least she got her hair together this season. Small
Somewhat,
wins, small
somewhat,
wins. Somewhat. I know,
somewhat.
I know. I see
That
that pro
definitely,
style on top.
yeah, yeah. I don't know what's going on with that lace front, but Mary, when you do leave out, baby, you got to make sure they press the hell out of it, not have it stick up. You got to tease your weaves every now. If you want to wear weaves now, you need to start teasing it and making it look natural and stuff. Like you needed to bring whoever do your hair.
Mary got a full head of hair. We need to encourage her to wear it. Hell,
I
because it's
know
not
she do it, and
working.
it's beautiful, and it's beautiful long ass hair too. Like on her Instagram, she has showed how long her real hair is. Mary got beautiful hair. I don't know why she over here playing with us, but okay. The next thing we're gonna talk about is Lisa joins Bronwyn with her plate of food, and she said, "Well, Bronwyn, how was the Bobblehead Museum?" And Bronwyn said, "Oh yeah, I was met with a very interesting conversation." So producers then rewind it back to Mealy, Miley, Maylee, whatever her name is, talking to Bronwyn about how Bronwyn was making fun of her outfits. And Brown looked at me and said, "Okay, well, you know what? Since we're doing this, why don't you ask Lisa how I got that information in the first place?" Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "There you go, Bronwyn." I was clapping her. I said, "Oh, Bronwyn with the shit. This is why I'm going to love Bronwyn this season. I already know I'm going to love her."
That is how housewife. She's doing a great job.
Mm-hmm. Not Moulin Rouge. But, so Lisa was all like, "What are you talking about?" And so Brian said, Amelia, come here, because Lisa think I'm playing. Amelia, come here. So tell her what you just told me. And so Amelia was like, so what's going on with my outfit? And Lisa's like, no, no, no. It was all being snarky. We were being snarky. We were making, just like jokes how return some of your items, to Nordstrom's. And Brian said, oh, ain't that rich? But when I do it, it's a problem. And she goes, what are you talking about? When it came to the situation with Whitney, and we were talking about, her rehearsing her reads, I was being shady. And apparently that's not okay. But you and Heather over there can go ahead and be shady. And so Heather walks up and goes, what's going on? So Bronwyn adjusted that chair and said, and you, I'm gonna need you to do better or come correct when it comes to how you address and handle me if we're gonna continue this friendship. And I said, well, damn, she ain't giving no fucks at this point. Bronwyn, like Jim Bunny said, Bronwyn wanted all that smoke. And
See, but she said her background and whatnot was a business. She went to school. She did it while pregnant, and then she worked in a field predominantly around men. So when she had explained that in the previous episode, I was like, oh, she can hold her own.
they wasn't ready for her. They wasn't
They
ready for
wasn't.
her, especially Heather. This is the second time Heather didn't look stupid on here. And she goes, and Heather was like, come correct. She goes, yes, if we're going to continue our friendship, you need to come correct. And she goes, well, okay, so let's talk about it. When we had that conversation with Whitney, I didn't know you and her had a conversation about that. And I felt it was being shady because you had not been around her. So why do you have so much to say? She said, Heather, I told you, just like the same way I told Whitney. I thought that that shit was funny and that it was being rehearsed. That is what I told her. And even Whitney looking over there, like, I think Heather just has misplaced trust issues and she's putting that on Brahman. And I do agree with that. I do think that she's, handling it because she wanted somebody to poke. And Brahman ain't with that shit. So, and she told Lisa, she goes, and then I feel like, Lisa, you didn't defend me. And here come Meredith. No, she did defend you. She didn't say anything. And she goes, okay, well, what did she say, Meredith? Meredith was like, she goes, exactly. No, she didn't defend me. She sat out there and let everybody, including Heather here, attack me over something that we all do. And she goes, no, 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 that's not what happened. That's not what happened. And Heather was like, no, you were being shady in the moment. She goes, okay, well, since we're going to go put all the cards on the table. So what about when we were at Lisa's event and y'all say that Whitney uses her trauma to her advantages and then downplays it when she doesn't want to deal with things? And you said, Heather, I agree. Heather was like, uh, looking at Lisa and they looking back at each other. And she goes, and y'all are her long ass friends and y'all are doing this. So that, which one is worse? And I said, Broadway, I fucks with you. I do. Because that was the checkmate at all. Because production's messy asses, and I was here for it. Playing back the scene where they said that exact thing. Y'all, I'm here for Broadway. I know a lot of people don't like her. I love her. It's funny how a lot of y'all that don't like her did not see what she just did in that moment. She just proved the best point I think that has ever been proven across any reality franchise about contradictory. Mrs.
Yeah.
Bessie, anything you want to add?
No, I pretty much agree. She read Heather for filth and cleared it and reminded her like, and it's good to do that when you're so new. Like she let them know if you're gonna come for me, you better come all the way correct and with receipts, because otherwise I'm gonna come right back at your ass, and you're not gonna like it. Either we all wrong, and or nothing else. That's how it
Exactly.
should be. And she pretty much
Mhm.
left it there because Heather has a way of trying to make it seem like she's good guy, and she's not all bad, but in this situation, it's like on your shit, Heather. Please.
Yeah, no,
Please.
I don't see it for Heather. And if there was any room for me to see it for Heather, this would have been the moment. Because this is the first thing that's happened on the show that is realistically a compressing issue between the ladies. This was Heather's moment to really redeem herself. Meatloaf tried it with Broadway. Shout out to who said that? Color Me Pink. I believe it was Color Me Pink who said, shout out to Color Me Pink. But no, she did. Heather did try it. Like Heather really did sit up there and really was trying to make a valid point that she couldn't make. Because as we said, whether if she said it was shady with y'all, but serious with Whitney, it doesn't matter because she still said it regardless. Whitney knew that she said it.
Yep.
So, and when they played back the playback of what she said, it wasn't much different from when she was in the car with y'all. It wasn't much different. She was laughing and she said it looked rehearsed. Same words.
Yeah, and she made a good point pointing out the fact that y'all known her longer, so it's more shady coming from y'all, separate from
Then it
that.
would be for her.
Drama was telling a joke, but they actually had some type of seriousness behind their little shade. So she definitely cleared herself. People still may not like her, but she definitely held her own against these women, and she did it gracefully without getting extra loud. I think that's where Monica missed the mark a little bit last season. You don't always have to get loud and do the most.
Well, see, the difference between her and Monica, Monica was also trying to fit in with them as well, where Bronwyn doesn't really care one way or the other. Bronwyn's gonna make her stand regardless. Bronwyn has a confidence in herself that Monica didn't have, and I think that's why we're taking to Bronwyn more.
That is true. That is true. But she cleared the hell out of them eloquently. I was impressed. I just like to see the housewives can hold their own versus this chick Brittany who can't even see a receipt before breaking down into tears and just falling into shambles. Please get rid of her. I don't want to see her.
Yeah, Bravo in that call center, we don't need this. I'm sorry. I know y'all thought this was going to be cute. And I know probably when she went at Mary, y'all thought this was going to be gold, but you fucked up. You fucked up gracefully because this didn't do anything but made us look like, oh, she's stupid. Until she showed them kids and take accountability of why she kept choosing men over these kids like she said she did. I don't want shit else from her. I don't want to see her constantly on the phone with this man giving Giselle Bryant moments. I don't want to see this shit. I don't. So yeah, she is. She looks like something's not right up there. So that's it. But this was a great episode. Salt Lake City is coming with a bang. It looks like next week episode is going to be just as entertaining, and I cannot wait. Mrs. Best, is there anything else you want to add?
No, we'll see what happens towards the end. It's an interesting reunion.
Oh, this is going to be definitely. I'm trying to predict the seating arrangements of who I think is going to sit. I feel like Bronwyn and Lisa are going to be sitting next to Andy. I do. I feel like Bronwyn and Lisa are going to be sitting next to Andy. But you guys, tell me what you think in your opinion of my recap. Do you agree? Do you like Bronwyn? How'd you like the episode? I can't wait to read it. Make sure you like the video, comment, subscribe. We love to entertain or engage with you, not entertain, but engage with you guys. I appreciate everyone who does comment. Thank you once again. We are signing out. We have one more video to do with this one. I hope to see you guys all there. Until the next review, you guys. Bye-bye.